have you been?
Extremely fine.
And how is the weather treating you?
Wow, hey, this weather is fantastic. You know, it makes your mind to feel much more fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Today we are looking at the importance of perseverance in business. I want us, before we go into the details, I want us to define these three very clear. Importance, perseverance, and business.
Yes, Mr. London. We dare not forget the old slogan that says that press on and keep on pressing on, keep on rolling to the shore, has solved and always solve the human race problems. Meaning that you don't have to quit. You
Never
have
give
to
up.
never give up. You see, I like what Mark Douglas, one of the greatest marketing executives and the author and the founder of, a motivational institute in America, says in one of his books, to say that a man who has had to pick himself up from the disappointments and the difficulties of life has learned a valuable lesson. Nothing deters him, nothing frustrates him, nothing upsets him, nothing can stop him, because he has already traveled that course, or rather that path, and he already knows the answer. And he's persistent, he's not going to give up. So I think that drives the point home. And I think the importance of, being persistent in business. There are some of the things that we need to observe if we have got to be, persistent in business. I think, and these are the tips that I would want to give out to people who are engaged in business out there. Okay. To say that, first and foremost, one has got to love what he does. You only enjoy the job or the work that you do if you love it. You see, the most unfortunate part of it is that most people who get into something that they are doing, or rather the type of work that they do, they are not happy. Why is it that they are not happy? It's because they don't love what they do. You can only spend so much time without, any distaste, because you love such a thing that you are doing. And most of the people are not only happy, but also they don't have the enthusiasm, as well as, the motivation to wake up every day and, with confidence, to assert each and every day with confidence and boldness, knowing that they can succeed at it because they have set a goal. So it's also important that you set goals in business, of whatever things that you are doing. Because as you set goals, you are going to discipline yourself. And that discipline will come as a result of you wanting to attain that goal. In the process, you are going to develop, as you persist, as you persevere, you are going to develop that amazing purpose to achieve something in life. And I think, Mr. Chilandan, having said that, besides loving your job, there's something that persistence does. The more you persevere, perseverance itself will make you develop, or rather become resilient. And, people who are more resilient will be able to face any type of challenge that they might be seemingly confronting, you see, and in the process do not have any dilapidating effects, or rather without being subdued by the events, and without having any nervous breakdown, and making sure that they succeed at it. I think that is the other importance of, perseverance, of being persistent. The third point of the importance of being persistent is the fact that in the process, you'll be able to acquire the master key that will be able to open all the doors of opportunities where others might fail. So I think when you get into business, there's no need of looking behind. Once you get started, you have got to make sure that you get the trophy. You reach the final, line of destiny. If you don't get the winning trophy, then it's as good as not having started running
Is it something that comes naturally, or is it something that's caused?
Yeah, that is a brilliant question, Mr. Chilandan. Like I said, to be motivated, in order to be motivated, in order to have the enthusiasm, you know, you must enjoy what you are doing.
Right.
Because when you are enjoying what you are doing, it will lubricate the inner being of you to make sure that, whatever happens, whatever comes across your way, you still have that bulldozer tenaciousness to make sure that you keep on hammering and hammering and hammering without getting tired until you have a breakthrough. And that is persistence in itself. So that is the love. It's like when you have got, you are pursuing a woman you love. Whatever that happens, you are blind, you can't see. That's why
Love
they
is
say,
blind.
that's why they say love is blind. Even when she makes a mistake, even when you are being hurt, you still want to pursue the same thing. You know what I mean? So same applies to the tentacles of business. When you get into doing something that you love, you are going to do it with all your heart and make sure that you spend a lot of time in it. You won't even notice when the breakthrough has come, because just the passion that you have for it, the love that you have for it, makes you that not to notice that you have already gotten your breakthrough and you have already succeeded. Maybe some people surrounding you are the people who are going to be reminding you to say, look, you have already crossed the line of success, but without yourself knowing that you have already crossed the line of success. And that is the importance of loving something that that you are doing.
Right. Can you have cause when you don't know anyone?
Well, definitely this is what I'm saying. When you persevere, it gives you that persistence. And that persistence in the process, you have got a purpose. Once you have got a purpose, that purpose will come as a result of the goals that you have set. And in the process, as you develop the amazing purpose, you will have something that you'll be waking up to every day to look up to say, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to attain, this is what I want out of life. And the moment you get to know what you want out of life, then I think you are set on the right path.
Okay, there are some people who set goals year in, year out, and you find that they don't achieve their goals. Should they continue? Maybe they need to change goals.
Well, important question. I think, like you have rightly pointed out, you keep on trying, you try again and again, again and again. But if probably you think that the ways that you have been trying are not producing the desired results, the most important thing to do and the wisest thing to do is probably to change the approach. Because probably you might not have been approaching a situation in the right way. So try to change the approach. If the approach doesn't work again, try to reposition yourself. Probably maybe you might have not positioned yourself in the right place, maybe in the right position, So repositioning your position or repositioning yourself might help out in a way. But what is important is to make a decision, Mr. Chilandan, to make sure that you do not quit in your mind.
Right.
After all, if there is anything that you can ever control in this life, it's your mind. And if there is any greatest asset that you can ever have in this life, it's your mind. Because once you possess your mind, you can control anything and you can possess anything that you are rightly entitled to. And having said that, Mr. Chilandan, let me hasten to point out that, as you keep on trying again and again, again and again, you reach a point of probably some point of exhaustion. You might also pause a bit, and refresh your mind and renew your energy, by taking a new faith and hope and resolution from the knowledge and the fact of life that all successive men and women have had to fight obstacles and adversity. Whoever person that you see on top of things today has got a story to tell. It didn't happen overnight. There was no shortcut used. And I like what one of the authors said some years back to say that there is no cheap victories are cheap. The only victories that are able to stand the test of time, not only stand the test of time, as well as outlive any person, outlive this personal life, are those victories that come as a result of hard fighting. You have got to fight until you get what you want out of life. And I think that is what persistence can do. Because even when you have your successes, it means that those successes are going to outlive your life. They will go beyond you as an individual person. And that spirit of tenaciousness makes somebody to emerge as a hero. You become larger than life as an individual. Yes.
Somebody's asking us what's the difference between a goal and a vision, and which one comes first?
Well, so to speak, a goal is a short term, set, probably target. You are saying within this short period of time, this is what I want to get. But now, when you're talking of a vision, you're talking of something that is projected for a much longer period of time. Maybe probably you would want to see those things coming to fruition after 10 years, probably even after 20 years. But I think the problem that we have in the, our context is that, and I think this is one thing that I need to make a bit of emphasis in right. London. You find that, in business, you must be led, you have first to be led in industry and intelligence before you can start leading others in industry and intelligence. But the problem that we have in our time and age is that we want to register a company today, and within 1 year, we become very wealthy, or rather overnight, or using a certain shortcut, which shouldn't be the case. I think one important ingredient that we must appreciate and learn in business is the fact that it takes time to succeed. And that calls for patience. One must have patience and endurance. I'll set an example, for instance. When I started business, so hard that literally we felt nothing much was happening. So it had to take more than 5 years for us to have a first breakthrough. You see, but because of persistence and because of perseverance, we couldn't quit. We couldn't give up.
Right.
Yes. And I think that is the core for business. We must make sure that we persevere. And as we persevere, as we persevere, in the process, we have become the type of persons that we are today. Because I remember even what one of my lecturer, when he asked me, when I was seated in my degree class, I told him to say, just upon we were about to complete, and I told him to say, sir, I would want to come back for my master's degree immediately. Then he told me to say, why? You need some time to other things, gain a bit more of experience. I told him to say, look, I feel like I haven't done much. It's like I've just started, and he was telling me to say, I think you love what you are doing. You've got the passion of what you want out of life. And that's why you feel like you have done totally nothing. You see what I mean? I didn't feel that I've reached that, apex, situation where I can have the utopic mind to think that with a degree I'm satisfied and have that pride. You know what I mean? I felt like I didn't have anything. So the point that I'm driving, Mr. Chilandam, is that we need, as a people, to persevere, and as we persevere, we are going to be, built into the type of a people that will have everything that is required in order to achieve. And once we have breakthrough and we achieve, our victories are not going to be cheap victories. There will be victories that are going to stand the test of time in whichever situation.
Okay. What are some of the practices that I need to do in terms of persistence to attain my business dream?
Well, there are several. There are several factors. Like most importantly, I would tell you that in the current studies of the contemporary issues of business and marketing, they said that relationship marketing has become more important
Okay.
than transactional marketing. And the reason being that there are a lot of benefits that comes as a result of consistency, being consistent, persevering, because you learn that when you keep long-term customer relationships, there will be some, additional auxiliary incentives or benefits that comes as a result of, having those long-term, business relationship in a business. For instance, there are issues of trust. Your customers are likely to trust the supplier whom they have known better, whom they have had experience with, whom they have done a number of things with, and they are likely to give your business preferences as a result of the trust that has been created over years. Any business relationship that is devoid of trust cannot be sustainable. That is one of the benefits. The second benefit is the fact that long-term business relationships result into a certain level of commitment. The more committed you are in a business relationship, the more likely that even the customers will be able to have that reliability to perceive you to be more reliable. In a situation where probably you have been able to respond to their emergencies when they need you, and you are there to provide such services and products in terms of service excellence. So commitment is a big issue in a contemporary business. If you don't show any commitment, then probably a customer might, look away and probably look for another supplier in your place. So that is very, very, very important. The other point that we also need to look at is the issue of, the whole package of, the relationship that you create over time with your customers as a supplier. Is the fact that customers will be able to talk favorably about your business, having experienced you with your business. So that recommendation in itself goes a long way into making your business sustainable. So these are the things that, as business people, we need to look at. And it's important that we maintain the consistency, the perseverance, the persistence, because in the end, it will pay off. Once you are in the business and you are not misconstrued by minor things, you have got to develop a belief that if you are going to hang in there long enough, for many years, the likelihood of you succeeding is there. And it's very critical also to know that you can have anything in this life if you are going to pay a price for it. So we must be prepared to pay any price in order for us to succeed in whatever endeavors in which we involve ourselves. I think we shouldn't be faint-hearted when there are seemingly some obstacles that are coming in our businesses, to contemplate on quitting. The best way, when difficult times comes, when problems comes, when times are more turbulent, that is the time that we should position ourselves to learn bitter lessons, hard lessons, because we should learn more from our failures and during our difficult times than we learn from our victories. Because when difficult time comes, it means that now we are being prepared so that you hatch into a new level or into a new way of doing things, so that your successes, you can change your story and rewrite some of the failures that you have had in the past, to change those failures into successes. Yeah, I think that is very important.
Okay, yeah, I remember about 4 years ago, I heard you on radio before we met. You were talking about the 3 C's, and I remember the 2, courage and consistency. I've forgotten the third one. How can you apply or make use of the 3 C's to remain persistent in business?
Well, interestingly that you have heard me on radio. I know that I've been speaking on radio over years. And I think I've said a lot of things on radio because I've been on a lot of other stations. But I think when you are talking of the 3 C's, I should think that the 3 C's, just to remind me, you are
Courage.
Okay, courage,
Consistency.
consistency.
There's one that I forgot.
Okay, okay. I think basically I should have talked about the importance of courage,
Right.
you know, because they said that fortune favors the brave. You know, the place where you are fearing is the place where people are making money.
Okay.
So I should have been talking about the issue of, you know, developing the courage to confront the facts of life. Because they said that the more you face the facts of life, the more you are likely to control your future. And that is the only way you are able to control your future.
Unfortunately, Mr. Shoes, I wasn't checking my time.
Okay.
We are running out of time. Each time, your final words in 30 seconds.
My final words and the appeal that I would want to make to the people out there is that I think consistency is very important in business.
Right.
When you are confronted by obstacles and challenges, never ever contemplate on quitting. Stay in there and believe with a strong conviction that if you are going to stay long enough to the end of it, it will pay off and you are going to succeed. Develop that confidence to wake up every day from your bed and assault each and every day with a lot of confidence, you know, that you can succeed at it. And every time a hungry head of failure comes in your thoughts, spit it in the face and tell it that you are well able to succeed at things that you have set out to do, so that that failure of thoughts does not, you know, come back in your thoughts. And that is very important.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir,
Thank
for
you,
coming.
thank you.
Wow.
Thanks.
Well, viewers, stay in here and keep watching CBC Business Morning. If you can't watch CBC, what else can you do? CBC This Morning continues on the other side. Stay tuned.